I think we have found in the Enlightened project, the parent of this new baby, that making a persuasive economic case to, not the Environment Ministry, with all due respect to Jochen, it's the Ministry of Finance, the one that's subsidizing fuels, particularly in countries where fuels are imported. Often they're the most persuasive, or most open to being persuaded that changes in policies. I think on the technological side, quality control standards, any measure that builds confidence in the market that a product is good, that it will be reliable, that a household that spends money on it can do so with confidence, all those sorts of measures. And there's a growing body of experience around the world on what works and what has not worked so well, and just sort of sharing that experience is often very powerful. Countries like to learn from others that have been successful. So I think it's the combination of economic argument, technology, standards, and good examples, and then rolling up our sleeves and working with governments.
Experts say that Nigeria is the largest potential off-grid lighting market in Africa, but it is facing a number of policy and market constraints which they believe need to be addressed to allow the markets to function.
And I'm just looking at something that we launched actually in Rio Plus 20 in June last year, which was noting the fact that actually 2 countries stand out for actually moving quite quickly to light-emitting diode technology, this even more efficient and even more environmentally friendly lighting technology, and those are Nigeria and China. So as far as the Enlightened initiative in terms of on-grid efficient lighting, there obviously clearly is some momentum building in Nigeria, which I think that the new off-grid can probably build upon as well. But in part it's also, legislation as well, and taxation and financial incentives and instruments. But Nigeria, as you know, has been working quite hard to try and deal with fossil fuel subsidy as well. I know it's not been without a challenge, but some countries like Ghana have actually achieved it. So, all these things are possible.
Essential that we have to convince the government to stop the malpractice of subsidizing kerosene. It's a long way.
Divert that subsidy, which is every year. It's a continual bleed. If you can convert the subsidy into a scheme that subsidizes equipment or makes it more affordable for homes and homeowners, then the government is freed of the subsidy. So you need to pull out the mathematical tools and spreadsheets and make a good case to the Ministry of Finance.
The collaboration with the Global Off-Grid Lighting Association will see the launch of an international effort to accelerate the deployment of enabling policies towards sustainable off-grid lighting. To underscore the new partnership, the UNEP-led Enlightened initiative has unveiled new national assessment for 80 countries on the economic and environmental gains that can be achieved through a shift to solar-powered alternatives. The Enlightened initiative has been established to accelerate efforts to reduce dangerous carbon emissions and the threat of global climate change around the world. The initiative has set a target date for the global phase-out of all inefficient lighting by the end of 2016. It is a public-private partnership led by UNEP and the Global Environment Facility.
We want to go out of the philanthropic area, of the donation area, but assume that you find a donor. Assume that you find a donor who is donating these lanterns into this little village. Why doesn't he do it through the industry and donate the money sort of to the industry that they can sell their products cheaper to your people? But I wouldn't give them free of charge because that's never good. So I think there are hundreds of ways which are possible in order to get the lanterns even into heavy subsidized countries. And a final word, and I just learned from Jochen Flassbart and from all the other panelists here, you must not forget the people who are going today from kerosene to off-grid lighting are making a quantum leap from kerosene to LED. That means they jump over incandescent lamps, over halogen lamps, over compact fluorescent lamps. That is the biggest technological quantum leap which has ever been made, because no off-grid lantern is not running with LED. They're all running with LED. So that's something fascinating.
Germany's Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development is providing support to UNEP to facilitate the development of a regional policy to enable the penetration of sustainable off-grid lighting solutions in the economic community of West African states region.
Program launched by the Ministry of Economic Cooperation in Germany has just been designed. As you might know, the whole economic cooperation from Germany is demand-side driven, so we design programs and we are seeking for partners. It has been developed in very close cooperation with the network here and with the respective partner countries. So we believe that we found the right tools, and as I mentioned, first of all, it is a cost-benefit analysis. This is very necessary to convince partners that they can use their own money to make the things run. It is not that you need a huge investment in addition to what you are spending for lighting costs at the moment. It's just a switch. And the second is to provide guidance for market introduction instruments and the platform I mentioned. So I think it's really up on the start now.
The Global Off-Grid Lighting Association, also known as GIGA, has been established to act as the industry advocate for the distribution of clean, quality lighting systems to replace fuel-based lighting. It is a neutral, independent, not-for-profit association created to promote lighting solutions that benefit society and business in developing countries. GIGA will contribute to this initiative by providing the industry insights necessary to assist with the development of policies and programs. The joint effort supports the United Nations Secretary General's Sustainable Energy for All initiative and its goal of achieving universal access to modern energy services by 2030. There are over 1.3 billion people worldwide living without access to electricity light, and there are approximately 900 million inefficient off-grid light points in use. Annual global expenditure on kerosene for lighting may be as high as $23 billion for candles, up to $7 billion, and on batteries for flashlights, up to $2.5 billion. Consumers in Africa spend between $12 to $17 billion annually on fuel-based lighting. Those in Asia spend between $9 and $13 billion annually on fuel-based lighting. Meanwhile, solar lighting systems source energy from the sun, so there is no running cost and no emissions when in use. Solar LED systems improve the quality of light and eliminate the health risk associated with fuel-based lighting, such as burns, house fires, carbon monoxide, volatile organics, black soot, and other air quality problems. The widespread use of modern off-grid lighting technology delivers significant socioeconomic, health, and environmental benefits, including new income generation opportunities for small businesses, longer hours, and better illumination for studying, improved safety by reducing the fire hazard associated with flammable fuels, and improved health from less indoor air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for watching. Let's do it again next week. I am Ayola Kasim, and from all of us here, we'll have a nice day.